Okay, so my name is Sergii. I'm a fan of no-code approach in connecting systems, and I will start with some philosophy, if you allow. I can hardly imagine myself coding or writing a program that would control workflow between me and my wife. So I was thinking maybe somebody tried. Just give me some hints. Yeah, and because of that, I like clicking. If you click, you can get this in the end. That's why no code approach. And today we're gonna delve into 3 specific stories. Each will showcase how PortaOne Workflows bring positive change and innovation without any coding. Okay, so let's go through them. The first story will be about and will take us to the realm of M2M and IoT offerings. And this, as ecosystem for IoT continues to expand, the need for robust and flexible billing solution has become paramount. Using the power of PortaOne Workflows, by the way, they are powered by Boomi, so we can connect everything. So PortaOne Workflows equal to Boomi, right? And sorry. So using this PortaOne Workflows, we expanded functionality of PortaBilling and implemented brand new offering so that our customers increase their revenue opportunities. The second story revolves around efficient management of SIM cards. So we got improve our efficiency in operations, and we also affect satisfaction of our customers and partners who consume this delivery. Okay. And finally, the last story will show us and demonstrate how PortaOne Workflows expedited the activation process of Fixed LTE, or you call it sometimes fixed wireless, services with MTN in South Africa. Let's start with the first story. Yeah. I'll give you more context what we were talking about. We have multiple customers actively developing their IoT businesses, and one of them in Australia and another one from Brazil. I was thinking, like, if South Africa is in the middle, so maybe it's also topical for you. Okay, so the idea of the product they were looking for, so you can imagine a device subscribing to 10 megs cap monthly, and you can also imagine a customer who need to subscribe 100 of devices. In the end, they should get 1,000 of megs, a common cap for all the devices. So individual quota doesn't matter. It actually accumulated and multiplied and used as a one cap for all the devices. So there was a demand on this product, and unfortunately, it's not available out of the PortaBilling box. But we could build it. So we had a challenge to build an external application which will dynamically recalculate this cap based on events in the system, in the billing system. Events, customer subscribed more devices and stuff like that. It was kind of challenging also because you can imagine a customer subscribing his 100 of devices mid-month, and for fair usage we had to recalculate this quota using prorated manner, so only remaining quota. And when the next period starts, we had to reset this quota to a complete value. Okay, by quota I mean cap, so it's also language mapping, right? And we used the power of PortaOne Workflows to overcome these challenges. Specific functionality played a pivotal role in our success. So first of them is a listener of PortaBilling events. It closely monitors any changes in product subscriptions of our customers. So we address all of them. Okay. We also, without any coding, we connect to PortaBilling REST API, so we could immediately update this cap value. And we also benefited from immediate and scheduled execution capabilities. So be it subscription in the middle of the month, so we had to recalculate immediately, or this is a scheduled recalculation to the beginning of the month, we had all that covered. In the end, our customer got increased revenue opportunities. And this also proves that you can build external applications quite challenging and without any single line of code. We continue with the next story. It's about efficient management of SIM cards. Also give you some context. It's a South African customer. They built a portal, a website, where their partners can place orders of SIM cards. Like, for example, 100 SIM cards, 1,000 of SIM cards to be delivered and activated later for fixed LTE services, for example. Right? And those orders are collected in the SAP Business One. It's an RP system. And once provisioning team fulfills this order, so they mark like this physical card to this order, this and that, maybe batching, stuff like that. So based on these delivery notes, we had to, as soon as possible, deliver into the PortaBilling for further provisioning setup process. So this is directly affects efficiency of your operations and, of course, satisfaction of their partners, because they have service sooner. Okay. The challenge was to integrate on-prem applications, and SAP is using XML format to store the data, while PortaBilling required JSON to upload this data. And also we use the following solution drivers to overcome that. So we opted for on-prem deployment model. This gave us a full control over the integration, and we could ensure network security, of course, because all the network elements are on-prem. Similarly to previous case, we created listener, but in this time, this was listener to SAP Business One events, which gave us all the events happening in the ERP system. And we also could monitor, closely monitor any new SIM delivery nodes. We also implemented no-code connector to SAP Business One, and using native mapping of Boomi and connector to PortaBilling, we eventually had two systems in harmony. So in the end, our customers was happy because they saved a lot on manual routines, doing this synchronization and fulfillment of customer orders, and partners benefited from quicker time to market, so they could quicker sell their products that they purchased. All right, the last story. It's about a fixed LTE, we call it fixed wireless service with MTN in South Africa. The activation process is very important as it directly affects the customer satisfaction, customer experience, and we need to make it ASAP, as soon as possible, sorry. The challenge was to create a multi-step provisioning service, and specifically the steps were like they specified here. We got when you first install a SIM card to the device, MTN dynamically allocates the phone number. It's called MSISDN. So once this number is known, we had to immediately update the billing system so the service could be already consumed by the customer. And the second challenge, or the second step of provisioning, was to pinpoint the location of the customer, because it's in PortaBilling, it's stored as address, physical address. But we needed to supply longitude and latitude to MTN to lock device to this geofence. Right, and we use the following array here to address that. So first we interconnected with MTN SFTP, so it's secure connection, which allowed us to exchange data between CSP and MTN infrastructure. We created this connected to Google Maps, and using their API, we actually pinpoint the address from the Porta, from the customer profile, and it turns us longitude and latitude that we can then push back to MTN. And we used a queuing approach so we could decouple these steps for more efficient and accurate processing without creating bottlenecks. In the end, our customer in South Africa is now provisioning this service in a matter of minutes, almost without human intervention, actually. Right? Yeah. As I wrap up this presentation, let's go through some common takeaways that unite these remarkable stories. So first thing I want to say about PortaOne Workflows, it's a very versatile tool. Whether you need to deal with modern REST API or databases or strict XML SOAP, or maybe you need to deal with files like in case with MTN, you have all covered. And this is a very universal tool to connect systems, automate business processes, and even implement applications, standalone applications. Moreover, even with UI, it's possible. Okay. And PortaOne Workflows comes with a complementary library of processes or workflows, and there is a number of options how you can use them. For example, you can implement them immediately for quick results, or you can tailor them for something custom, some personal touch, right? And for innovators, for among us, it provides tried and true patterns to basically implement everything you want, any possibilities. Yeah, I think that PortaOne Workflows is actually a game changer, and it's a transformational force in the world of communication service providers. Yeah, thank you very much for your time and attention. I'll be looking forward to any questions or discussions. If you want to learn more how PortaOne Workflows could empower your specific requirements, please do not hesitate to reach me. No problem, I'll be available here. I'm not sure why. I also have a meeting, so you can schedule a meeting, but not probably this or next week, the week afterwards, when I'm back home to Ukraine. Thank you very much.